Hi guys, it's me, Rachel. How is everyone? I've been meaning to record for quite some time now, a couple of weeks, and it's just been impossible between visitors and unfortunately getting sick. I have not had the time or the energy, but I'm happy to say I feel that I'm recovering. As for my daughter, she tested negative for everything they tested her for, so apparently it's just a cold now. And as for myself, I'm not exactly sure, but all I can say is, for any of you watching, if any of you are like me and you try to do the utmost for your health, all I can say is don't overdo anything when it comes to the foods you eat, no matter how healthy, or the vitamins, the supplements you take, exercise. Too much of anything is not a good thing. And I know that, and I repeatedly tell loved ones that, but anyway, I'm not sure exactly what the culprit is, but I'm willing to bet that I overdid something. And I know I must have had a bug as well because I was quite feverish for a couple of days. But anyway, I am really foggy. I've got foggy brain. My throat feels a little scratchy, but I am determined to try and record this video because it is probably the most sufficient amount of time that I'm going to be granted, for the next few days. So I might as well try. So I wanted to do like a recap of November, because the last time I did one of these at present sort of videos, I believe was right after Halloween. And I'm quite disorganized, but I had gathered some things here. And I'm trying to think of where to start. Thanksgiving was nice. It wasn't horrible this year. My daughter was home. It was low key. Yeah. So I'm just going to open up a deck, like one of the decks that I've been using at present, just so you don't have to stare at my hands. The Apparition Tarot has been great. This deck has done for me what I hoped it would, like my intentions behind buying it, which is, I don't know, bring a different perspective into my interpretations. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not going to show all of the decks that I've been using through November and December because I haven't really, it's just been sort of scattered. I'll use a deck and then I won't use it again for another few weeks. So I'll probably just focus on the things that I find myself using most frequently. And yeah, I know I've shown this deck before in at least one other video. Anyway, so what did I want to talk about? Like I said, I'm really struggling. I've been sort of dyslexic lately, even I find when I'm working, when I'm trying to draft emails and whatnot. It's been fun. But I feel that I'm recovering. So that's good. All right, let's move on. So why don't we start with the books, I guess. So because I haven't been feeling well and I've been very busy, like my mother was here for a week before Christmas. And then my partner, my boyfriend's son was here for a week. He just left. Right after my mom left, he arrived. And with Christmas and everything, and being sick, I haven't been reading at the pace that I normally do. But let's see, what did I read recently? So I've talked about this. I finally finished reading the Dune series. And how do I feel about it? It's complicated because, as I was saying, Frank Herbert died before he could wrap up his vision. And although this and the previous book were written around like the basis of Frank's, manuscripts that he left behind, it's still not his writing, and it's not badly written, but it's not badly written. And I do like it. I did enjoy it, but it's not this. Like, this is astoundingly beautiful. This is the 4th book in the series, and it's probably the strangest. And I'm not going to get into it now. There's no time, but this is probably my favorite one. The first book, Dune, and this one. Wow. Like, this I'll definitely read. I'll probably reread the whole thing eventually, but I have so many books to read. So what else have I read? So because I haven't been feeling well, I've just been trying to just read anything, and I like to read my guidebooks for my decks when I can. So I just read through this recently. I really like her her interpretations. This is a nice little guidebook. I highly recommend this deck if you like the art. When did I read this? Some Chekhov. But actually, now that I think of it, I might have finished this up before November. Like, I might have, yeah, maybe I should have put this in the previous video. I'm not sure. Chekhov has been someone that I loved for many years, and some of these stories I had already read like years ago. I'm always astounded how his short stories of everyday life, relationships, personalities, odd characters, I'm always astounded by how I'm stricken by them. Like the story of the lady with the little dog. The first time I read that was on a train to New York City to go to the Metropolitan Opera to see Don Giovanni back when my daughter was like an infant. And I just remembered that it made me cry. And it was, the basis of it was the story of two people having an affair. And at the time, I remembered like being like completely disenchanted with the whole idea of love, because like I was in like a stale relationship. But I read it again recently, and again it made me cry. It's amazing. Anyway, too much information. I just recently read this, short little read, Virginia Woolf, The London Scene. This is a series of essays. I love her essays on London. So everybody who knows me, they know I love Virginia Woolf. And I wanted to read something of hers I hadn't read before. So that was nice. And then, I don't know, that might actually be it. That might actually be my November recap as well, because Dune took up a lot of time. Yeah, let's see. So I've been watching things. So we finally finished The Crown, and I think our opinion on the last season, series 5, is the opinion of many others. It's just, again, like the impeccable attention to detail, I'm absolutely there for. The directing is great, the acting, everything, the score. But like my daughter said, she's lost interest. It's the pacing is different, and it's they've drawn it out, like with the whole, Diana thing. And I don't know. I do prefer the earlier seasons, but I'm still there for it. I'm still there for it. We've been rewatching Poldark. If anybody knows Poldark, we watched it a couple years ago. The three of us, my boyfriend, my daughter, and I. And my daughter recently, she wanted to rewatch it. So every night we would like either watch an episode of The Crown or Poldark, or sometimes both, depending on how much time we had. And yeah, I'm thinking I might want to, for fun, read some of the books. So yeah, as you can tell, like I love like my British drama and comedy and everything, and sweeping Cornwall and everything. I love Cornwall, and yeah. Anyway, and it's kind of a soap opera. And the main character, Ross, he's like, everybody loves Ross, but he's also sort of problematic because he does something in season 2, which is just like, I still like hate him for. But I'm willing to not necessarily look past it, but just, still enjoy the show and get through it. And people are human, and it's complicated. There are varying views on that, and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. So, okay, Rachel, get on with it. Oh yeah. So another thing that, sorry, I need my water. Another thing that I watched recently and loved is, does anybody know this? Barry Lyndon. Oh my God. So you're either going to really love it like I did, or find it extremely dull. For me, I mean, Stanley Kubrick. I love Stanley Kubrick. I just love it. Every frame is a painting. It very much like the English landscapes and everything. It's and the costumes. Oh my God, the costumes. Just impeccable attention to detail, and they had a budget, it's as good as Amadeus. Yeah, it's just I love the aesthetic, like the cinematography and the landscapes, like, just for me, like, I love like Gainsborough and like Sir Joshua Reynolds and all of that, and it just brings all of that to mind. So let's see, what else have we done? Let's get into some of the decks, because I'm sure that's what a lot of you are here for. What have I been using recently? So, let's just pull something out. All right. So I've been working with this recently. Deviant Moon, everybody knows Deviant Moon. This is an interesting deck for my collection because for many years, it's one of those decks that I didn't think would ever be in my collection. It's funny. It's like I am the type who I like develop like these biases against things that are really popular. And sometimes I can admit to myself, like, you know, you're just being a snob. And other times I feel like, no, I'm justified in that, you know. So this was one of those decks that I sort of ignored, but not necessarily because it was so popular. Whenever I would see it, I actually felt a lot of respect for this. I always got the vibe that people who love this deck and can work with it probably get like really, really deep readings from it. But for me personally, it was just a matter of it not being, you know, my aesthetic. And I honestly found it scary. But it's funny because, as you know, if you've watched one of my recent videos, I went on and on about Patrick Valenza and his Trionfi della Luna decks, which I love, and some of his oracles. And the characters in those decks are very reminiscent of these, but it's just a different medium, a different art style. So I think for me, it's not so much the characters themselves, but the medium. It's the atmosphere is nightmarish to me. But obviously I've come around to it as I own it. But it brought to mind for me, I don't know, there were a few cartoons that were on when I was younger, and they were like this, like, I don't know, this computerized art, this digital art that I hated. It was scary to me, and that's what this makes me think of. But now I'm able to separate myself from that. And I think this is a wonderful deck. So anyway, I've been using this. And I would like to get his beautiful companion book for it. I really like that Temperance card. Yeah, Deviant Moon. Let's see. So here's another one. So this is my Rosetta Tarot. And I just kind of want to show this. This is a Thoth clone, which there aren't too many of those. And I also use, this is an all-time favorite of mine by the same artist as well, M.M. Moline, Tabula Mundi. Oh my God, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'll show that at some point. I talked about the book that she co-wrote with T. Susan Chang, I think in my last video. But yeah, so this is a Thoth clone, and I know there are people out there who are like adamantly against Crowley Thoth, but they love this deck because it just seems a bit more approachable, even though most of the cards are, you know, it's a clone. But it's, I don't know, it's a little warmer, I suppose, than the Crowley Harris. But if you like what you see, you know, check out the Crowley Harris Thoth. That's all I can say. I hope you can hear me. I've been told that I'm a little hard to hear. I hope I'm making sense. I'm feeling better, but I'm still not 100%. Yeah. So, anyway. Love that. Love that Lover's card. Love that Lover's card. What in the world? All right, let's see. What did I bring in here? I just picked this up, and this is one that I have been, Dame Fortune's Wheel. I've been curious about this for quite a while. And what happened was, I'm sure many of you, what am I doing? This is so annoying. Many of you can probably relate to this. You're shopping for gifts, and you know, I was on Amazon trying to bulk buy because I needed one little thing, and I was like, what else can I throw in my cart? Love these backs. So anyway, this is right up my alley in terms of a Rachel deck. Beautiful. And I have the companion book for it as well. Very excited to be working with this. Very affordable, low Scarabeo, standard size stock. Yeah, I love it because it's so reminiscent of, you know, the medieval style. Love the colors. Look, Rachel. Very interesting deck. Very interesting. All right. So, like I said, I'm not going to show everything that I'm using. This here, oh, I'm so excited about this. All right, Eigil Colquhoun, Tarot is Color. So I did a crazy thing, but it makes sense for me. So this is not a cheap deck. There's a couple of different sites you can get it from. I got it from Fulgur Press. I got this deck some time ago. I had to have it. And I was excited to use it. And my intentions were, I wanted to use it like alongside this, my Brian Eno Oblique Strategies, like, because I don't know, this is a 70s deck, and so is this, and something about it just seemed to go. I mean, look, like black and white, how cool is that, right? I'm such a dork. But what happened was, I got the deck, I opened it, I loved it. It's also a scented deck, by the way, which is really interesting. It's a scented deck. I'm gonna open it and show you. I bought it, I opened it, but I never used it for readings. I mean, like readings for myself. These are the backs. It's wild. For me, it's wild. I don't know. It brings to mind something from my past. Like, maybe it sounds funny, but like something about my parents' bathroom, but that's okay with me. Anyway, I hope I didn't ruin that for anyone. I didn't use it because I do have other decks that are on the pricey side and that I'm worried about keeping in good condition. But there was something about this one in particular. I just feel like, I don't know, I'm holding something that I really, really have to respect. I mean, I do respect all of my things, but I don't know, like I'm holding something from the museum, like a museum piece. And I found myself wanting to use it, but being afraid to use it. So I finally decided, I bit the bullet, and the only way for me to come around to the idea of using this as I intended to would be to purchase a second copy. And I did so. And it was the best decision that I've made. I don't know, not the best decision. It was a great decision because now I am using this and I'm still taking care of it. I don't riffle shuffle it. I don't really riffle shuffle most of my decks. But I feel like I can use this and I don't have to be afraid. So, oh my gosh. This just, I don't know, this deck just gives me like the shivers or something. I have also, I bought these two like travel books by Eitel. The Crying of the Wind, which is Ireland, and The Living Stones, Cornwall, which I'm so excited about. I have another book of hers. I don't know when it's going to arrive. I'm so excited. These are going to be, or at least this one is going to be like on my, my reading challenge for this year. I'm gathering the books that I want to read for 2023? I don't even know what year we're going into. I almost said 2024. I don't know. I hope I'm right about that. See? Isn't it fun being sick? Yeah. This is just, I mean, I shouldn't flip through this whole thing because I don't have a lot of time, but isn't it amazing? So I've been getting some really, I don't know, powerful personal readings from this. I'm so glad that I invested in a second deck because now, like I said, I can use it. Now I can use it. So that was like, I don't know, a Christmas present to myself. I also, alongside that, I got it from the Fulgur Press. So they have these beautiful, beautiful magazines. I got a couple of them, but obviously I needed this. Aleister Crowley, the Palermo collection. I was like, wow. So this as well, I want to read through this. Crowley's signature. I want to read through this as part of my reading goals for the coming year. Beautiful publication. Yeah. Okay. So where are we at now? Yeah, so we're going to talk about, or I'm just going to show what I got for Christmas. Some of the things that I got for Christmas. All right. Here we are. So I got, as I was mentioning, I got Bjork's new album, Fossora. And I haven't even been able to listen to it yet because I have not been well. But I'm very excited about that. Let's see. When my mom was here for Christmas, we went shopping and I got some books. Like I got a paperback copy of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which I read years ago. But I have this beautiful, beautiful vintage hardcover that I don't really want to read again. And I thought my daughter might want to read this at some point. So I picked that up. And I found a copy of The Iceman Cometh by Eugene O'Neill, which I was so stoked about. So, yeah, so when my mom was here, we went to the museum and the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, and it's just one of my happy places. I go all the time, but whenever I leave, I don't know, the experience just kind of lingers for me, and I feel like I didn't just go to the museum. I went to ancient Greece, like I went to Egypt, I went to the UK, I was in Switzerland, I was all over the world, all over time, and I love it. It's so enriching for me. Always a good time. So in the gift shop, my mom, she's so sweet. She got me a couple things. Like, I love this Pocket Poet series from Everyman's Library. I have a little collection of them, and this is Sondheim lyrics. Oh, like Sunday in the Park with George is in here, which is probably my favorite musical, or one of them. And she got me this, which is just beautiful. I love Kandinsky. I'm sure you know that. Have I talked about that before? I don't know. I know some of you watching know that about me, but I just look how beautiful this book is. I was thinking about buying it, and then last minute she took my basket away from me and put it on the counter, and she's like, "Merry Christmas." So, I actually don't really know much about this particular book. Like, I don't. I was taken by the cover and the binding and everything. I have some other Kandinsky books, but all right. So what else did I get? So also, I got from my boyfriend, this I asked for. This is another Kandinsky. Now, I haven't really heard much about this book, but I know that it's like, revered as like this important work on Kandinsky. And it's, when was it written? I want to say it's from the 70s. The Sounding Cosmos, a study in the spiritualism of Kandinsky and the genesis of abstract painting. And it's beautiful binding. And it wasn't horribly expensive either, I don't think. It's not a coffee table book. I'm really excited about it. I felt like there were some other things I had to say about it, and it's just all escaping me now. But, yeah, I'm excited about it. And then the other one that I asked for was Hilma af Klint, Visionary. So I didn't think that I was getting either one of those books. I mean, I had it on the list, and I didn't think he was going to get them. I got some other things too, but then I was in the museum, and I saw this in the gift shop, and I was like, oh, it's beautiful, because I hadn't seen it in person, and I'd only seen it online. And so I was so excited that I got them both as gifts. It's funny, actually. I am a journal keeper, and my current journal right now is this. And by the way, I love these journals by T News. Is that how you pronounce it? I meant to talk about journals at some point, and yeah, these are the ones that I buy. I had to switch to a different journal at one point. And I bought something else, and I missed that paper. I missed the way that my pen glided across the paper, and I just really recommend it. So, yeah, I am really excited for this. I love her work, and I think this is also probably, along with some of the Kandinsky, going to be on my list for the upcoming year for books to read. So a couple other things that I got for Christmas. I got Trionfi della Luna, the illustrated pips, the Italian text. So yeah, as I was saying, like, the Deviant Moon scared me off for the longest time, but these characters in here are very similar, but these are not. These are whimsical and charming to me. So I haven't used this yet because I just got it for Christmas and I've been sick, like so much fun. But yeah, these are the illustrated pips. So yeah, you get like, I love that 5 of Cups. Beautiful. Yeah. I was very excited for that. And also from Patrick Valenza, one of his tarot reproductions. So I was mentioning how like I love these Marseille decks, and this was one that I hadn't really seen much of. Just different. I love like how there's roses in here. It's just different. Let's see, I'm showing you all like these wands. What's funny about this deck is this looks like so much like my dad when he was young. And there's more than one court card in this deck that resembles my father. Like that kind of looks like him too. I love it. Yeah. Let's see, what else can I show you in here? Yeah, I have to decide if I'm going to do like a deep delve into Marseille this year or what. I feel like I have too much on my plate. You know? Like I want to work with Ihil Colquhoun and Hilma F. Klint and like Mike Kandinsky. I sort of want to reread. I read some of Kandinsky's works like a few years ago, like concerning the spiritual in art and Point and Line to Plane. And I feel like maybe I should reread them. And I don't know, I probably just have too much on my plate. Priorities. I just have to figure it out, and I will. But just coming out of a sickness, like where you can't really do much, is not a good time to be like putting all these things on your plate. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? So for music, it's the same. Like I've been listening to, you know, my Brian Eno, and I'm not going to talk about that. If you want to hear about that, you can watch one of my other videos. And my David Bowie, Low, still really loving that. And I've been listening to, you know, Everybody Loves like Some Bitches Brew by Miles Davis, and some other things that I can't think of right now. Yeah, so Christmas was good. It was just stressful because my daughter and I were both sick. And my mom's visit was nice. Like I said, the museum was great. Made a bunch of Christmas cookies and stuff while I just kind of sat there with my warming pad while my daughter and my mom made cookies, and it was nice. Watched some movies. Like, you know, whenever I'm sick now, I try not to beat myself up too much with what I'm capable of doing. I focus on the things that being ill sort of like behoove me to do instead, like catching up on movies that I've meant to watch or something. Like the day that my daughter and I were really sick in bed, we watched The Lion in Winter together, which is a movie that I've seen so many times and I own it, but it happened to be on TCM. It was funny, the funny Christmas movie to have on, right? It's if you know it, you know. But it's not necessarily a family movie, but there are worse things that she could watch. And it was cute, her reception of it, because, you know, I was sort of telling her, like, you know, that's Henry II, and do you know Robin Hood? Because this guy here, like, you know, Prince John, you know, he's a real person, you know, and I was telling her about Eleanor of Aquitaine and all of that. And my boyfriend came in the room, and my daughter was like, did you know that these are real people? You know, these were real people. Like, they're not made up, because she's actually very interested in kings and queens and politics and history and all sorts of things. So yeah, Lion in Winter, that was nice watching that. Otherwise, I probably would, I think I watched it recently, like within like the past 6 months or something, but whatever. And then we watched How to Steal a Million on Christmas night. It was on, and that's a cute movie. And my daughter had not seen that one. And Peter O'Toole again, who she had just seen in Lion in Winter as Henry II. And she's like, that's Peter O'Toole? And she's like, And she's thinking about it, you know, because mommy loves Peter O'Toole. Like, I love him. So I am educating her. And my boyfriend, he's such a cute dork. He likes to call me Audrey. He's always like, what is your mom doing in this movie? It's ridiculous, though. But anyway, it's cute. Fun little 60s romantic comedy. We watched Bambi again recently too, because we were watching this Disney like semi-documentary film called Perry. It's like about a squirrel, and it made my daughter think of Bambi. She's like, what was that movie that I used to really like when I was younger? And I was like, oh, Bambi, you know. And she's like, let's watch that again. And yeah, all I can say, like, to Lambert, like, if you're watching this, if you're not familiar with Bambi, because I know that we weren't really that familiar with it growing up, I don't think, as a Disney movie. I just, you know, it was sad. It was too sad for me. You should definitely take a look, and, you know, especially like because you love nature so much, or anyone who loves nature. The artistry is gorgeous. Who was the artist? Chinese American. Just gorgeous, because it's all about instead of drawing the way nature appears, the way that nature makes you feel. And it's such a real film. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, I'm sorry, I keep saying like again. There aren't any like fairy godmothers or anything in Bambi. No, it's just, you know, the Prince of the Forest, this senior, you know, deer who tells Bambi, like, at one point when the forest is on fire, like, Bambi, you have to get up now. Like, I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's just very real. And when you think about it, in the 40s, you know, when it was made during wartime. I think it's a very important sort of coming of age story that could still be applicable to many young people. It makes me cry, like, just not just with, you know, the mother dying, but just the beauty of it, the music, everything. Gorgeous. So definitely, if you like classic Disney like me, go explore. We watched 8-Bit Christmas, which was a new Christmas movie to me. Highly recommend that, like, especially if you love Neil Patrick Harris. The message, you know, the message at the end, but really, like, it made me tear up. It was really well done. It surprised me. So let me think here. I'm sure there are some other things that I wanted to cover and I didn't, but I'm just so glad that I finally got something out there. Was just able to record something. So my apologies if I was scattered of mind, or if I said like 500 times. But I'm doing my best, and I hope to record again soon. Maybe some tags or something. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.